Good morning to all. Welcome to the second day of Zeitgeist 0.2. Today, we are going to have a different topic which would interest most of you. Today's guests are flying guests. Yes, you all might have guessed by now. How did they reach the sky from DMC campus? What took them to reach to the sky? Whether takeoff was smooth? We do not know. Let us listen to them. The first resource person of the day is Miss Sharon D'Costa. She was our art student who passed out in the year 2014. She was awarded the best NSS volunteer when she was doing her TY. She completed her diploma in computer application from Libra Institute. She is accurate in typing skills, organization skills, interpersonal and communication skills, proficiency in MS Office and Excel. She started her career as the front office associate at Park Hotel, Kalangut, Goa. She also worked as the customer service representative at Miramar, Goa. She joined as the cabinet crew member Indigo Airlines in 2015 till date. She is working for Indigo Airlines. Very charming and cute, very respectful and loving. I present before you Miss Sharon D'Costa. She is going to speak on Sky is the Limit, working as a cabinet crew, challenges and opportunities. Over to you, Sharon.
Hi guys, my name is Sharon D'Costa and I'm an ex-student of DMC. I passed out in the year 2014 and currently working with a private airline for 4.5 years now. Okay, so I'm here to talk about the challenges and opportunities cabin crew faces in day-to-day experiences. But to start with, I'm going to just give you an outline about how to go about if anybody wants to join an airline as a cabin crew. So to start with, I'll start with the vacancies. You need to check out for the vacancies wherever if it is available. That is, only Google can take you. When you just go search for cabin crew vacancies, just this, if you just type cabin crew vacancies, it's going to just direct you to that page, and it'll take you to a careers page. And like, supposing it's Go Air or probably Air Asia or Air Indigo, it's just going to take you to one page where all scheduled interviews will be there. So like, it's like for 1 month a proper schedule come for an interview as well. So like, different cities, different places, it'll be mentioned there. So you can just go and attend the interview. Or probably if you're like in a place like a metro city like a Bangalore or like Bombay or Delhi or anywhere, they have these hubs where you can just go for the interview, just walk in, that's it. But before that, you need to upload your CVs on some site, so better check that. So okay, before going for an interview, you need to check that you're 12 standard pass, you have a +2 certificate, you've done it, you're good to go. You're 18 years and above, good to go. After that, you need to check your BMI. So you need to check your BMI. If that's very easy, just go and check on Google or probably a doctor. That'll be your, like, that checks your height and weight. According to that, it tells you that you are fat, thin. It takes you to a you get to know your body type in that BMI. So you better check that. Then most importantly is that you need to know Hindi and English. For instance, for me, when I joined, I did not know, I couldn't speak Hindi, and that was like, I was like, whenever they used to say like, okay, Sharon, and it was like a Catholic name probably, and we are a little back. And even Goans, they normally don't know to talk so much of Hindi, like a fluent Hindi or something like that. So Hindi, when I went for the interview, it was like the interviewer just told me, just like, describe the room in Hindi, and I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't, all of a sudden I can't speak Hindi. But eventually you get to know, but then just certain small topic you can just speak, try to know, you just speak a little bit so that it helps you for the interview. Okay, Hindi English is more than enough. If it is an international, yeah, they would want additional language, but it's better to have an additional language. Even in India, if you have an additional language, would be like, what, like if you're flying south, if you're a South Indian, you probably might know, like, your South Indian would be the Tamilians and Keralites and all of those. So it's like they will know their language. It's an additional language is a plus point basically. So talk about height would be 155 for girls, 170 for guys. So even this also differs when it comes to international. So the eyesight is all, this is like eyesight, your scars, your spots, you cannot have tattoos. So eyesight basically is that you need to, you can wear lenses. International doesn't allow you to wear lenses. You can, I think, wear specs, but domestic I'm talking more. So you can wear lenses, you cannot wear glasses, you can't wear specs. And for the eyesight you need to have certain particular thing which is going to be checked by the doctor when you're doing your medicals. All right, so the next is no scars, no spots base. Okay, then no tattoos at all. Okay, tattoos, when you're coming about tattoos, you can have tattoos above, inside the, like, this is your uniform. If you're joining, my uniform is like till here, the sleeves are till here, so I can do a tattoo inside. Okay, so for the interview, they might probably take you to a GD round or HR round. They'll have, they might also have an online exam, which will be like more of grammar. All right, that's it. And if you are done with this, you're good to go for the interview. You'll be selected. That's what you would be, and whoever wants to join, all the best for that. So you can join, and then they'll schedule you for your trainings and everything. Okay, so next we talk about the challenges and opportunities. Opportunities and challenges. See, in aviation career, joining as a cabin crew, it's like kind of, we feel it's very easy, because the day I joined for the training, after the interview I joined for the training thinking that, Sharon is just a cup of tea, like people just go, they groom themselves. And I did not know the inside when I joined 4.5-5 years back. So I didn't know the inside. It was like, for me, people take their bags, go groom themselves. I don't know what they do. They just probably serve. I thought that even serving a tea, it's very easy, but it's not. Right? So it was like, for me, it was pretty difficult, because for 2 years when I joined, so it was around, I guess, 20, when I was the age of 22 when I joined the airline, and I was like, all of a sudden I went out of Goa. It was so difficult, because when I went there, different people, food was the first thing. Then I couldn't actually cope with the things. After two days I used to run away from there, because I was very homesick, very homesick. So it is not everyone's cup of tea that they can do it. They cannot. My colleagues, they joined, they started flying. 2 days after flying, they just left. They couldn't actually manage to fly. And I was like, just give it a shot, give a month or so that you get to know. But no, they couldn't. They were like, no, we couldn't. But me, after investing my 2 years, I guess, for training only, I think I should give it a shot. Speaking of challenges faced, so once okay, I'll come back to after your training, you join your training. So training is the most difficult part of a year. So you need to score like 90% in all your papers. And like we have, for example, I completed my arts. So we had 6 papers. I did English and history, 6 papers. So it was like different papers, grammar, poetry, like that. So from here, it was like, you deal with safety, deal with first aid, you deal with hijacking, you deal with security. Like there are different things. There are like different manuals for it. So the first day, my instructor was like, he asked everybody one question. So how does, everybody, he asked a question saying that, how does everybody feel joining it? He was like, actually gave us a pat on our back saying that it's very easy, don't worry about it. Then he says, so you thought that this is going to be a cup of tea, that you actually did your interview and you're done, like you can just serve tea to a couple of passengers and that's done. He was like, no, 90% in every paper. You fail thrice, you're done. Your interviews, you can't, it's no point joining. He said that. So study hard. The knowledge of the job is very important basically here. So I would say, to become a cabin crew, You need to be responsible, you need to be punctual. What I have learned, these pointers are very, very, very important to become a cabin crew. Responsibility, because this is a job to be responsible for. Punctuality, yeah, an aircraft is not going to wait for saying Sharon is late today. You're supposed to be at the aircraft like 1 hour prior from your departure time, and it's like you got up late, you couldn't make it for the flight. Aircraft is not going to wait for you, because it's not a bike or a cab or a bus. That's bus also wouldn't wait, right? So it's not like that. It's like you aircraft is never going to wait for you. But that's what they teach us. Aircraft doors are going to be shut the moment it's time up. Someone else is going to be scheduled for the flight, and you're done, and you'll get a nice warning letter for the same, which I did not. No, I did not. Well, so then, okay, I was talking about the important things about a cabin crew. That's like responsibility, punctuality, then ready to do work in hard situations. Yes, you need to do that. Hard situations, difficult situations, I would say, because emergencies, ditching, you learn about emergencies, ditching, fire, everything. Customer service, guys, customer service is the least that you are going to be, you know, thinking about right now. When you think that you want to become a cabin crew, that's the least of the least things that you would think. All right, so I'll come to the challenges, then I'll go back to the topics that I've left. So yeah, we're talking about challenges as a cabin crew face on board. So I'll start with, this job is difficult, it is demanding, it's like it's a little bit of more of hard work than the other jobs that you have. You would actually you know like to work in an office. You go to office 9 to 6 job, a normal job, just go and sit and come back. No, over here it's like more than that. Deal with passengers every day, new passengers every day, new colleagues every day. You are not going to get the same colleagues to work with every day. Probably I flew with my friend today, then it's going to be like 1 year after I'm going to probably fly with her. There are a lot of crew in the company, so you normally don't get to work with the same ones again and again. It's all new faces every day. All right, so then comes management. I would just love to say that management comes with experience, like everything. So normally, if to start with, when I started for my customer service, for an instant I'll tell you what happened with me. So for my customer service, basically you just don't, like, imagine you've never spoken to anybody like that unknown. You never spoken to anybody, basically like an unknown person, like, sir, would you like to have a tea or a coffee? Did you ever ask? No, I had never asked in my life. So it's like all of a sudden, like, I'm asking him the introduction, and I'm telling him everything. I'm asking him what he wants, asking for money and all that scenario, basically. So we have this time limit that we have to finish our service. So we've given us zones, like row 1 to 10 is my zone, my rows that I have to finish in, like, say 10 minutes. I have to finish in 10 minutes, and there are like so many, 6 passengers in one row. So it's like 10 minutes finish the service, which is not possible, right? For a newcomer, definitely not possible. So it was so difficult that I was just like turning around the place, and I didn't know what to do, who to serve. I had to cross check whether I serve this one or that one, because you're standing there, you see one passenger over there is asking for water, the other passenger this side is asking for tea, the other passenger is like, I'm hungry, you're not serving me. Probably a passenger the row after is asking for water, he's like, I'm hungry, give me something to eat. So it's like that is that. So you have no clue what happens when such things, you don't know, you're the newcomer, and everyone's just asking, give me water, give me tea, give me coffee, give me sandwich. You don't know. I'm just saying, because that is a day where my senior told me that, customer service experience comes with experience, proper experience. You cannot just out of the blue just start talking to a passenger, like, actually, and that makes sense. All right, and then coming to talk about, there's this thing called training can prepare you for training can prepare you, but training can't prepare you at the same time, if that makes sense to you. All right. This is said. This might be said because yeah, we go through so much of training. At the end of the day, what has to happen will happen. Am I right? That is why, if that makes sense. What I'm hoping. So as we all know, this job is glamorous and it has many advantages. You know, if you say I'm a cabin crew, it's like you think, oh my god, she's a cabin crew, and she would be like, she would be fashionable, glamorous, poised, groomed. Yeah, of course. When I was also getting ready for the session, and I was like, should I just go in casual, or should I sit in, should I be sitting in poise with makeup and all? Then I said, yeah, of course, I'm a cabin crew. I have to be with makeup and poise and groomed at the same time. Okay, speaking of another challenge, is the most important is the body fluids. First, when I said that, this is the most difficult job. This is why I said is because body fluids. Passengers have motion sickness. They have medical conditions. They get some get panic attacks. So when I'm talking about bodily fluids, is they puke. They don't know what to do. Some, because we have different cultural norm, different cultural people come, different people from other cultures coming in. In the flight, every time that we fly, that's not the same person. And when we know about talking of the Indian culture, there are like different cultures in India. So you don't know. So some people are literate, some are illiterate. So we have to tell them everything about the aircraft, everything about how to use a washroom, how to use the air sickness bag, which is right in front of you, because we know some people are not used to traveling, right? So for long distance and all, they cannot. They actually start puking. They just throw up. So yeah, if it's possible, we have to remove that as well. Medical conditions, that would be like bleeding, probably. Anybody for any reason, they start bleeding. So yeah, we have to do that as well. Then comes, I wouldn't really, don't take offenses, but if you're listening to me like properly, it's like people don't know to use a washroom in an aircraft. It's just a normal thing. It's normal how it is at your place. It's in the aircraft. It is nothing difficult. It's nothing different from how it is from your house. Just the thing is that they just keep the floor very, very wet. They don't know what exactly how. Even after telling, because I've had instances where I myself told the lady, because I got to know that she doesn't know anything about the aircraft, the washroom, how to use, how to go about it. So after telling her also, she actually littered the place, and it's like we have to clean it, because there are like 180 passengers. If it's in the forward, the captain also uses the lavatory, so obviously, yeah. So, and for safety reasons as well, we check the lavatories. We have to check the lavatories for safety reason. If everything is fine, because people start smoking in the lavatories, which is actually not allowed. So that's the reason I'm telling you. All right. So the next come with coping with trauma. Coping with trauma would be, first of all, you have a lot of traumatic situations that happen on board. Like a lot, like probably death on board, dead body, people, in the cargo, if they are holding cargo, dead bodies in the cargo. Passenger might just come and tell you that my family's dead body is just there in the cargo. How would you actually react to the situation? So that's what, these situations are so traumatic. The worst part would be like death on board. Trust me, touch wood, I have never experienced. I would never love to experience that. So death on board is like the worst thing that I would actually get to experience, and I don't want that to happen ever on my flight. So talking about the main part, that's safety. Safety is, you get to learn during your training period. You get to learn more of ditching. You get to learn more of hijacking. You get to learn more of, at 40,000 feet, you are at 40,000 feet all with 180 passengers, you four crew and two of your cockpit crew, and four of you all have to do everything for these 180 passengers. If anything, no matter what. Imagine you're at 40,000 feet high and there's smoke in the cabin. Probably you have no, the passengers are panicking. They're like 180 passengers, and you don't know, you are like not in a state of mind and that time. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like trainings can help you, but at the same time trainings cannot help you. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's all situational. The trainings help you, like 80% trainings help you of what I've done, what exactly you've learned at your institute. That actually helps if you go to see. But 80%, yes, it does. 20% is like, it's all situational. All right. So at 40,000 feet, I was talking about, at 40,000 feet, you don't know what's happening. You are in air. Water also take care, but in air, God knows what will happen. It's all that your confidence level, your knowledge of what to do exactly. Trust me, everything they teach us, everything for trainings, each and everything that they teach us for training, like how to deal with ditching situation if an aircraft goes and ditches in water, if it is a hijack situation, how to react exactly in a hijack situation, if it's an emergency, just crash landed somewhere, or probably an aircraft just gone off the runway. All right. So imagine in such situation how to react is all given. It's all given. We actually train for the same. So I'm gonna sum up with saying that, yeah, I love my job and I love doing what I'm doing. And being a cabin crew, and ever you want to join as a cabin crew, please go ahead. Make sure you do thorough research about the job. If you want to join the airlines, any airlines, thorough research about the job, about yourself first. Know yourself. If you possess the qualities that, I'm not saying that you should possess the qualities, but make sure at least you try to get those qualities for yourself somehow. Everyone's not born with those qualities. Everyone's not born with those qualities. And even me, I was not confident. I couldn't speak like properly. Stage fear, everyone has stage fear, right? So imagine they make you talk in front in class as well. It was so difficult because there were like for training also, there was like so many people in the class, and I was like, I didn't know how to exactly I was just quiet. I was very introvert. I used to not talk a lot. I used to not even I used to be quiet, just do my study, listen to what the instructor is telling us, just listen to that, don't say anything about it. I used to not even reply to the questions. Even if I used to know the answers to the questions, I used to not even reply. So it's like, some experiences are good. So that's what I'm trying to say. Be confident. Make sure you're very confident. Don't get nervous for interviews. If you're attending any interviews, if you are do a thorough research. Knowledge about the role is very important in this job. So speaking of which, now I'm gonna sum up saying bye guys. I hope you all the best for if you're attending any interviews, and if you have any queries, please Google it. I don't know if you can get in touch with me, but you can definitely ask Miss Shanti or someone, because she's given me this opportunity. Thank you so much, Miss Shanti, for giving me an opportunity to talk about my experiences and opportunities and challenges that I have faced in my life. Thank you so much. See you guys.
Thank you, Sharon. That was wonderful. Definitely, our students will get the inspiration to join in airlines and follow your footprints. The next resource person is Mr. Vernon Temudo, very lovely person. I remember him as a DJ for some of our college events. He won the Best Man of the Year award, got Best Organizer award, and appointed as the sports secretary of the college, and got a certificate in NCC B grade training. Mr. Vernon Temudo completed his BA in English Literature and Economics in 2007. He has done his diploma in security studies from Edith Cowan University, Australia. He got his diploma in international airline and travel management at Trade Wings Institute Management. Got his certificate of competence in computing at the Academic Council of NIIT Bangalore. Excelled in MS Excel, Word, Access, PowerPoint, and Outlook. He had his training in Air India National Aviation Company of India Limited as a training assistant in 2008. Worked as the guest services and security agent from March 2009 to November 2011. Worked as the security agent in Qatar Airways from May 2014 till July 2015, then as the senior security agent till October 2017. Worked as a documentary fraud specialist in Emirates Airlines. Worked as security coordinator in Emirates since 2017 till date. Vernon, you have really worked hard to reach this level. You will be a motivational force for our students. I present before you Mr. Vernon Temudo. He will be talking on the topic COVID 19 and conflict, potential and global impacts on security. Vernon, please take over.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time of day you are viewing this, I do hope everyone is safe and taking all precautions necessary to safeguard yourselves from the current pandemic. I would like to thank Ms. Shanti and her team for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this initiative where I can return something to my alma mater. My name is Vernon Temudo and I attained my bachelor's degree in arts from DM's College with English literature and economics. My passion for aviation turned to reality in 2009, and ever since it has continued to be an enjoyable career. I have had the opportunity to associate my career with the Emirates Group Security based in Dubai as an document fraud specialist conducting travel document and behavioral analysis to prevent illegal immigration. I shall touch base on the current security perspective and airline security career options and requirements. My aviation security background is fortified with a diploma in aviation security studies from Edith Cowan University in Australia. Many people have a false notion of security and often link it to a person or a guard at the doorway or entrance of a business institution or even a vital installation. However, there are many other roles that are involved in safeguarding various sectors like corporates, events, and so on. With the current crisis, the world has shifted from a free flow environment to a controlled and slow recovery. Overall, globally, there are a lot of security concerns due to the pandemic's global impact. COVID 19 could stabilize and create civil unrest and vulnerabilities in the system, especially when compounded by mismanagement or corruption. Health systems can be greatly compromised. So, being a security professional in the aviation industry, what does this mean for us? Identifying the risks involved and assessing the threats that may surface due to the nature of the pandemic. First and foremost, with the increasing risk of political instability, security forces are outstretched and overstretched, and populations become increasingly frustrated with the government's response to the disease. Violence that erupts due to the lack of implementation of security protocols or protection protocols and essential supplies that cannot be provided by the government are creating a concern. Food insecurities leading to looting and attacks on humanitarian aids as well. The global crisis management will set back conflict resolution, with restrictions continuing to hamper international travel. Conflict resolution efforts will take a back seat. Major summits that cannot be done virtually due to the security risks involved and other reasons. The pandemic has severely weakened the capacity of international institutions to serve conflict-affected areas, impeding humanitarian supply chains as unemployment levels are likely to soar and create a rise in crime. The crisis may be also politically exploited. Introduction of corrupt schemes by leaders to either politically enhance powers or to acquire wealth in the name of development, and abuse of power by passing of bills to facilitate the interest of a political party or have a power grab for a specific person. Malicious intent of terror groups in this crisis may create openings to launch new offensives against weakened governments. Activists or extremism can thrive with this type of situation. And while until date no one has displayed a clear strategic vision relating to the pandemic, but an exploiting disorder is the key principle to perform such acts. The diversity of roles in security provides numerous ways for security professionals to identify a career pathway that fits their skills and interests. Security personnel can be categorized as professionals, managerial or directors, or executive level positions as well. Each stage typically requires general knowledge of security management coupled with specific expertise related to their role and position or level. In addition, there is a wide scope of job opportunities with levels of responsibility. Professionals in the security field may specialize in various other sectors. For example, it will be public events or corporate security, or it may be a different domain like access control, investigations, law enforcement, or employer types like corporations or corporates or suppliers of corporate related security services. In, a, in accomplishing such a wide breadth of responsibilities, security professionals may engage in a variety of specific businesses and operational roles, including strategies and planning, budget of finance, human resources, security operations and management, and many other role specific tasks. Of course, challenges will be a major part of security professionals and may face additional challenges based on their specific role and level of responsibility. For example, management or director level may have come from a background without wide exposure to core business functions such as human resources or budgeting and finance, but would require business acumen for their roles. In addition to education, there are several popular ways or alternatives for security professionals to increase their expertise and credibility. Certifications and relevant credentialing opportunities may help to ensure a security professional's competency. There are numerous positions that can be filled in the security field. Professional level may be broadest in this type of field. It includes those who may have be very highly skilled and experienced, as well as an entry level professional with comparatively junior responsibilities. The roles would range from, say, airport security personnel to aviation safety inspectors, intelligence officers, customs officials, airline liaison officers, or fraud examiners, investigations and analysts in the aviation. Maybe incorporates. It's also could be a security advisor or a security analyst, corporate bound. Facilities and projects are another domain that you can look at, where you can get roles as a facility security advisor, a project manager, protective security advisor. Okay, these are roles that would incorporate security in facilities. However, security providing companies are a much larger scale, and many companies are now opening up, looking at the current situations and the post pandemic. Security advisors are security coordinators, security officers, or operations assistants and specialists are widely going to be taken into consideration. All an ever and sorry an ever An overview of occupational roles and responsibilities would be professionals who tend to spend their time implementing security operations or procedures. However, they may be similar to managers or executives in having responsibility for developing security strategies or planning or coordinating procedures, coordinating with other functions and other departments, or even having responsibility for increasing security awareness throughout an organization. Security personnel at all levels of responsibility have identify security fundamentals as risk management or crisis management as a key and specific job skill. This is not surprising when given that professionals are required to have an overly broad base of knowledge to understand the countless security threats that might affect an organization. They may also be expected to know the methods or approaches utilized to prepare for detecting, deterring, or even responding to such threats. Project management, which reflects both knowledge area as well as expertise in how work is performed, is also frequently identified as an important skill. Um, the traits that we would see mostly in a security professional would be teamwork, professionalism, creative problem solving, integrity, and leadership. Given the time frame and the time that we are in now, these traits will be largely effective for the success of a person's career. Competencies include would be collaboration skills, how you speak, your written communication, planning and organization, and moreover the dependability, how much someone or any of your colleagues can be dependent on you. Security professionals may have a wide breadth of responsibilities over total enterprise of risk, or may act more as specialists within more or one discipline, like access control or law enforcement or executive protection. Each domain may require specific knowledge and skills or prior experience and or training, as well as knowledge, skills, and abilities. Domains like business continuity and resilience professionals may require an understanding of business operations as well as how they relate to the strategic goals of the organization and need to prepare for security events and quick responses. Communications and awareness, another domain which is applicable to educational institutions or security companies, where professionals must have the knowledge of available modes of communication for receiving or delivering information to internal or external audiences. Compliance is a very known domain as well. It requires an understanding of the regulatory and compliance standards as well as of how to implement processes or to ensure they are being met or satisfied within an organization. It could be a self organizations self related level of threat or security, or it could be adopted from an outside organization, example the ISO. Okay, corporate security professionals with good knowledge of the organization and how security can be unified into the business with a broad based understanding, including operations, finance, and other key areas of the organization through crime prevention and at the domain that is likely to come up very much into post COVID may benefit from the local presence and connection to the community as well as the ability to form and maintain relationships with external groups like the law enforcement officers, or we're saying in the police, or for that matter the crime branch. Specialized knowledge of crime prevention methods and approaches may also be required. Cybersecurity, it is the topmost topic of everyone in the pandemic. How is cybersecurity going to hold out on or with in this time? A strong understanding of information technology systems may be crucial as in the ability to keep up with the date and new threats and developments in cybersecurity arena. Professionals may also require the ability to develop and maintain a strong and current understanding of technology vendors and their solutions, including the ability to evaluate these solutions relative to their organization's technology needs. Electronic crime and fraud, which is an whole new domain which is which has been seen of late to have a very steady rise. The ability to understand the financial controls and fraud, how to identify fraudulent money and activities, and the ability to conduct interviews relative to an incident. Legal compliance. Professionals should have knowledge of regulations as well as law relative to business locally as and the ability to understand legal implications of policies or events and actions. So how would you do the planning for your next steps? Establishing a career pathway, your education and experience. First of all would be your education. Set up your saying education, set up yourselves with your in line with your education and your interests. Gain the necessary experience from or by getting yourselves involved in new courses, new strategies, research, credentials and professional courses for a few of the role specific domains may be available out there with specific institutions. Professional development may be a priority for one aspiring to climb up the career ladder. Flexibility and openness to new challenges and domains may help to propel you through your career. With this, I conclude and wish everyone the absolute best in their careers. Be positive and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Vernon. I could make out that you have really put in lots of hard work by presenting your views about the security during the COVID 19. God bless you and thank you. Dear students, the two speakers of today proved that if you work hard, definitely you can reach the sky. Two extra courses along with your degree to get a decent job in future. I thank both the speakers who had agreed to interact with you. Vernon spoke from Kuwait and Sharon from Bangalore. Over to you, Lizella Gonsalves. Please propose the vote of thanks.
Hello friends, we come to the end of second day of Zeitgeist. The speakers for today's session, Mr. Vernon Temudo and Ms. Sharon D'Costa, have elucidated the ways of overcoming express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Vernon Temudo and Ms. Sharon D'Costa for being part of Zeitgeist. I would also like to thank our principal, Dr. D.B. Aronkar, for his motivation and support in organizing this web lecture series. A hearty thank you to Ram Shanti, Head Department of English, and all my departmental colleagues. And a sincere thank you to all the participants for your enthusiastic response. Thank you all. Do remain connected with us for more interesting and stimulating sessions on Zeitgeist web lecture series in the following days. I leave you with this thought by Washington Irving. Great minds have purposes, others have wishes. Little minds are tamed and subdued by misfortune. Great minds